All right. So, hi, everyone, and welcome back to day two. Hopefully, you guys had a great rest and a nice sleep from yesterday because yesterday we covered a lot. And I'll begin by saying that yesterday was a whirlwind. Many of you didn't know, but we sent an email blast apologizing because it was a crazy amount of partnerships and signups all in a day. And there was some tech difficulties, but I'm here to share with you that I appreciate all of you for sticking the course, getting excited, getting ready for day two. So enough of that. Let's dive into the content for today because we have, as you can imagine, so much to cover. I do want to begin by reminding all of you that there's still time for you to register to join me for the full multi-week program, which is the Paid Speaker Career Accelerator program. I am so proud of this initiative because many of you are aware that I've been speaking on global speaker circuits around the world for over 10 years now, over a decade. And I have a system that works in the sense that I know how to get booked and I want to teach you how to do the same. And obviously, these 5 days are amazing. I always tell people I will tell you everything you need to know through these multi-day trainings, everything. I don't hold anything back. But what I will do during these accelerator programs is help you execute on that knowledge. That is the only difference. So if you love what you're learning, love what you're seeing, and love the experience that you have, and seeing my flow, seeing the content I deliver, and you want to implement this, join the accelerator program. More on that later on, but I just want to bring that to your attention and give a huge congrats to the people that signed up yesterday. I'm so happy to welcome you. I know the team already DM'd you and emailed you and sent you a calendar invite for our one-on-one. As a reminder, the bonus for that has expired as of last night, but we still have one more other bonus that's available to many of you if you join tonight. Again, more on that later on, but let's dive into the content. So yesterday, we kicked off this 5-day series with a very candid and blunt conversation about how to leverage public speaking opportunities to accelerate your career in a crazy competitive global market, because many of you feel it. I talked about the fact that the elephant in the room is that we're not really facing an economic recession. We are facing a trust recession. So how do you build trust, credibility, authority, and really build a community in your network? In this era, public speaking is really a phenomenal way to do that because now you have to walk the talk, right? If you really are an expert and really are someone who knows what you're talking about, let me see you talk for it for 5 days, like I'm doing right now. Let me see you talk about this throughout the year. Let me see you talk about this over a decade, like I have done, right? After a certain point, you have proven over and over not only your expertise in a subject matter, but also your enthusiasm, your excitement. I always tell people talent is not enough. Passion also needs to go with the talent. So if you're talented and passionate about subject matter expertise, it will resonate and flow through you as you communicate and teach and coach others. So we talked about the power of public speaking and the secret that I leveraged in my career to do so much in my career as a serial entrepreneur, when I was in corporate. I mean, at every stage of my life, public speaking has been the catalyst for opportunity for me. So I wanted to share that with you from day one. Today, we're going to talk about how to position your personal brand, that big word there, personal brand, to attract speaking engagement opportunities. Because at the end of the day, your personal brand, let me tell you, that's the most valuable assets you will have for life. Nothing comes greater than your personal brand. It's more important than your house, more important than your car, more important than your 401k. For those of you who are in America, more than any financial instrument investment you will ever invest in is your personal brand. And especially in this day and age where trust is broken and people want to make sure that they connect and build with people that they trust, that they can relate to, your personal brand is going to be crucial. So how do you leverage and position yourself as a public speaker, as an authority in your subject? We're going to talk about that today. So hopefully you're in for a treat. And so just to recap a little bit, because I know it was a lot of content to cover. And of course, if you register for this program, make sure to go back. We sent an email out yesterday giving you access to the replay from yesterday's session for you to be able to kind of recap the video. But for the next 2 minutes, let me just share with you what we talked about yesterday is that we address all the different challenges that people usually face at different levels of their career when it comes to breaking into the public speaking circuit, from not even knowing what to do, right, which is the planning issue, to not even knowing how to, find engagements and getting stuck in the loop cycle of free speaking engagements. And that's mainly a positioning issue, right? There's so many different challenges that you will face breaking into the speaker industry within your respective industry, community, your country, or field. But I always say, especially with the entrepreneurial spirit that I have, that with every challenge, there's always an opportunity. I want to repeat that again. With every challenge that you face, when it comes to getting into the speaker circuit, there's always opportunity. So I share with you all the different routes you could take. Again, I'm giving it to you on a silver platter. You don't need to overthink this. You don't need to do research. I am telling you what challenges you might be facing and the solution that you need to undertake to be able to tackle that challenge here and now, right? And then we talked about, okay, once you recognize those challenges and recognize the opportunities that's also available to you because of those challenges, we talked about your goal for public speaking. Because again, I've worked with so many people who their goal planning efforts is crazy, right? The goalpost is always moving. And what happens, you get into this big cycle of depression and frustration because you think you're not meeting goals. And it's because you've never really written down, firmed up, and put pen to paper and say, this is my goal, this is my aspiration, and in this amount of time, I want to achieve it, right? So we talked about, are you trying to get speaking engagements for lead generation, for those of you entrepreneurs, for your business? Is it for speaking engagements as a revenue stream? So you just want to be known as the expert and you want to be able to get paid for your keynotes, your workshops, any content that you're creating IP? Or are you trying to build an empire and trying to monetize your speaking engagements at the same time add visibility to your businesses and your projects and your endeavors? All of these efforts all have their own merit, but you got to, think about what is your actual goal. And I share with you guys in my career journey, when I first started my first company, it was amazing to get speaking engagement opportunities purely just for lead generation. And I will share with you guys here that I spent a good chunk of time speaking at multiple events for free. It was not easy, but the return on investment for my business, it was the best marketing. I mean, to this day, I didn't have to pay ad spend for that business because the speaking engagements was a great converting mechanism, and so on and so forth. So you got to make that decision. And then last but not least, we concluded the conversation about really transforming your perspective around milestone planning and avoiding stepping into this, chaotic mentality that you have to you really build your life based on what society dictated. When I go to college, I do X. When I get my first job, I do Y. When I do this, I do Y. You don't need to wait for these typical life milestones to really build your authority, build your presence to your community. Really look at your life as a series of experiences that you're learning, that you're experiencing along your life journey, and how you can impart that wisdom to others and create instead a predictable cycle of thought, leadership, and authority where when you're ready for the next stage in your career to be able to embrace and support and empower others with the knowledge that you have from your actual experiences. So with that said, we talked about experiences already yesterday. Today, we are going to transition into positioning, because at the end of the day, how do you trigger people into having a conversation with you, to want to work with you, because to find you as an actual subject matter expert or a topical expert? You've probably heard the phrase, the riches are in the niches. A lot of us are focused on way too many things. Let me tell you, in my mind frame, this is one of the top Q&A questions we got at the end of yesterday's session. A lot of people ask, well, what if I'm into this, into this, and into this? Focus is key here. I can spew out probably like 40 different topics that I am actually an expert on. I'm good at these topics, and I know that I'm highly experienced, from personal branding, leadership, training, hiring, fundraising, capital raising, partnerships, brand deals. Like, I could go on and on and on. I could do a course and a teaching mechanism for all 40 of those subjects. But you don't see me out here every day teaching and talking about every single subject on the planet: cooking, farming, all of the above. You have to pick the one that you really want to be introducing others to, and that really frames the layup for your value positioning statement. So let's dive into this. I want to give you an official welcome to day 2 to the Get Booked as a Speaker Bootcamp series. Over the next 5 days, I'm going to help you learn how to get booked as a speaker into 2025. I'm getting you on the right track. So comment speaker if you're ready to get on these global stages, get people to know who you are, you're excited, and really ready for the next stage of your career. So comment speaker so I can know that you're energized for day 2 to position yourself for opportunity. So with that said, we're talking about positioning today. And the best way to position yourself is really crafting your value positioning statement to create messaging that actually attracts your go-to audience, because you're going to stand out in your zone of expertise. I'm going to walk you through how to actually do that today. And probably the original question of the hour, right, is where does positioning actually start, right? How do we know that we are ready for positioning, right? How do we actually get people excited to want to work with us and really, say, yep, you are the right person I want to work with and I want to engage with you, right? And let me tell you something. Many of us recognize that, when it comes to breaking into the speaker circuit, you got to give to receive. And I wholly believe that, right? I do feel like you have to put in the time, put in the reps, and people will be able to engage with you for doing so, right? But the starting point is not speaking. I've seen a lot of people speak at dozens of events for several years, and they get frustrated that they're no longer getting opportunities, accolades, recognition for their thought leadership. I want to share with you that the starting point for you to kick off in the speaker circuit is actually positioning. Okay. And so what does that look like? Again, I've shared with you, doing 100 different speaking engagements for free will not lead to the speaker career you desire. I'm just telling you that straight up, right? You have to be very strategic with how you want to break into public speaking, especially if you want to do it on a regular basis like I do, right? And once you get the position, like what you are known for, what you want people to introduce you as in other circles and other arenas, then you can start preparing for opportunities and you can play and enter the speaker circuit. Many of you don't even know what speaker circuit you need to enter, whether you should be, entering. For those of you who are female entrepreneurs, maybe you should enter the female empowerment and entrepreneurship speaker circuit. For some of you who are based in New York, maybe you should focus on the localized tech ecosystem, or maybe you should focus, if you're a diaspora, on the global diaspora conversation. There's actually strategic bubbles of communities that you need to tap into to be able to position yourself for success as a global speaker, period. And a lot of us don't know that. So I want to teach you today how to begin properly to break into public speaking, really build your career with public speaking as a foundational growth and catalyst opportunity mechanism. And it starts with positioning. Okay. So that's step 1. So let's talk about that. So how do you kick off positioning? It starts with you having a value positioning statement, and you got to craft it. And a value positioning statement is really messaging that attracts the right audience to help you stand out for the noise. And I said this yesterday before, it has gotten really, really competitive to stay relevant in today's market. There's so many people doing so many things. It might be for you frustrated that you're trying to, build your brand, build your reputation, build your expertise, and it's just extremely competitive. So instead of being a generic person, again, things are changing. There was a time where you could say, hi, my name is, so-and-so, and I'm the CEO of XYZ Corporation. That is boring, dead, and gone. Dust that out. All right. That is no longer something that's going to work. You got to present and open up word value. Okay. So this is where I'm going to ask you to pull up your workbook. Right. And for those of you who printed it out, great job. Like, you really do need this book. Right. Pull it out. And we're going to go to session 2, where we're going to talk about the positioning statement. So we already covered yesterday's session for the work. We're going to go to page 8, where it's the value positioning statement. That's where we're going to go right now. Again, if you haven't received your workbooks, the team is on the call right now. They can reply to you. Just comment workbook, and the team will reply to you to be able to provide that to you. Okay. So we need our workbook. So we're going to go into that right now as we speak. And so this is it. It's not rocket science. It's not, someone sent a comment to the thread yesterday. It's like, Christine, your content is really profound, but so simple. I'm like, yes, it is. Because simplicity scales, complexity kills. Okay. So the simpler your methods and your strategy, the easier it will be for you to do so many things. Team, reply back to some comments on the thread. Some people are asking for the workbook. Thank you so much. Right. So this is a speaker value statement. Who do you help? What do you provide and why? So the statement, the template, if you want to copy and paste, screenshot this, use this for future reference, this is it. And I will tell you, this simple sentence causes so much havoc for individuals because it requires you to really think, right? Some of you get so frustrated, people don't reach out to me to book me for engagements. People know I'm an expert, but who do you serve? And what do you give them? And why do you do it? Right? So in this, template, I help who to do what because of why. So for me, I'm very candid about who my target audience is, and I'm going to show you examples of my personal brand online where I actually extrapolate and share the details of the work that I do to serve the audience that I serve. And you guys, pretty much, you're benefiting from it, right? You signed up to be a part of this 5-day live because my value statement was very clear. I'm going to help individuals like you to be able to get booked for speaking engagements because it will change the trajectory of your career. See how that just happened right there live, right? You could do this over and over and over again. Right? And this is the process to do that. Okay. So let's go over this and see how this works. So for me, my speaker value statement is I help women entrepreneurs to monetize their brands online to create a flexible, fulfilled lifestyle. I'm going to repeat that again. I help who? Women entrepreneurs. That's my target demographic. And I'm going to talk about, focusing in a second because I know what the question is going to be. Well, what if I want to help this person, this person, this person? I got you. I'm going to answer that question in a minute. But I help who? Women entrepreneurs to do what? Monetize their brands online. Why? Because I want to help them create flexible, fulfilled lifestyles. Okay. Now, for those of you who's like, oh, but Christine, do you not help me? I'm a guy and I'm on the call. Yes, I can help you too. Right? I can certainly serve you. But me saying that I'm targeting women entrepreneurs means I have a focus. As a female entrepreneur, I could serve best the people that I represent, right? As a female entrepreneur, it just makes sense, right? But that doesn't mean the strategies that I'm giving women cannot be adapted to men, right? Everything I'm sharing right now is actually universal. It's for young children just getting started out to mature people who've been in their careers and fields for multiple decades, right? It helps the entire spectrum of different people at different career points. I want to express that very clearly. But by targeting my group, it creates a more viral effect. I can't tell you the majority of the referrals for this boot camp that went viral yesterday where the link broke and people couldn't register was for female entrepreneurs. Right? So it works. And keep in mind, those female entrepreneurs, they're not only recommending other female entrepreneurs, they're also recommending men and mature people and young people, right? But they become the ambassadors to the work that I do because I'm serving them so directly and so critically, right? And again, what am I helping them to do? There's so many things I could serve you guys with. I can help you how to build a business. I can help you how to do partnerships with major Fortune 500 companies. But the conversation I'm saying today is that I'm helping you to monetize your brand online. Right? So and then ultimately you got to have a reason why you want to serve that audience. So for me, as a mother of 4 kids, a wife, and a serial entrepreneur who is building in multiple countries at the same time, living my life through just through my imagination and just really fulfilling God's work through the work that I do, right? I'm able to really have a flexible, fulfilled lifestyle, right? I don't have to be a celebrity to say that, but it really makes me happy to know the work that I'm doing today that has fulfills her purpose, right? So for a lot of you, you don't know why you want to do something. You got to figure out your why. Are you doing it because you're frustrated? Maybe you struggled. I know for me, a lot of the catalyst for my businesses was out of frustration that, I couldn't find out so many opportunities. So I'm like, let me create opportunities for others. So this is the value statement that you need to create for yourself to be able to find the right person. And so what happens is you introduce yourself by that value proposition by default, right? So this is my website. You can go on my website at christinatim.com. This is my speaking landing page where different entities come to book me to speak at their events. I even have, same way I have a binder for each program that I'm running, I also have a binder for my speaking engagements as well, right? And right here on my website, front and center, right? I help women succeed in the digital space. Through my entrepreneurial career journey, I provide strategy, insight, and perspective on how to lead a successful career in the digital first world, right? So I say candidly, this value proposition of helping people build their brands online, monetizing the digital space is very, very clear. Right. And so with that said, this is going to be a crucial part of you standing out in a competitive market. Because again, imagine you're going to a networking event. Okay. Just so, because I know for a lot of people, when you hear this, it feels like theory, but this is practical ish I'm sharing with you. And I'm going to tell you how it's going to work effectively for you. Imagine you going to a cocktail event, because we all know in our careers, we got to network, we got to engage. And you meet someone for the first time. They don't know you, you don't know them. And you introduce yourself and they say, hey, my name is so-and-so. What do you do? You know that question you get at every networking you go to. What do you do? Right? You respond, hi, my name is Christina Tim, and I am the CEO of the Global Startup Ecosystem. We help entrepreneurs around the world, or our business runs accelerator programs and tech summits globally. Oh, congrats. Sounds great. That's the response. There's really no intrigue to really have further conversation. Now, let's try this again. Hi, my name is Christina Tim, and I help entrepreneurs monetize their personal brands online, because I recognize we live in an age where trust needs to be built online first, and I want to help them succeed at that. Do you see the difference in the energy? And I guarantee you the person who's listening to that, either they need that or they know someone who might need that, because now I'm inviting them into a conversation that this is the work that I do. And this is how I'm inviting you to work with me in that work, right? Very, very different vibe, very different introduction. So the first one is all about I do this and I do that and I do it in this way, versus the other one is like, we serve this audience for a purpose, for a reason. And this is the outcome that we hope to provide that audience, right? So it's clearly one sentence. It's not a paragraph for those of you who like to ramble on, right? You're not, bombarding the person with a lot of content. It's literally one sentence, right? And the devil's is in the details. Go to my LinkedIn page right now. All right, team, if you could share the link to my LinkedIn page on the thread, that would be great. So anyone on the call could just go to my LinkedIn page. Definitely add me on LinkedIn. Let's stay in touch. And it's right there. Not only am I leverage my banner. Anytime I'm doing an event, I leverage my banner so people can know I got over 40,000 followers on LinkedIn. So it's my billboard, right? Makes sense. But go to my title, global motivational speaker, which I am, an entrepreneur, a tech ecosystem leader, corporate training professional. And there is my byline, helping CEO build personal brands online. See that? Obviously, I talk about where I've been featured for the accolades. That's more credibility. But the authority is helping CEOs build personal brands online. Now, let's say someone say, oh, really? Is that what she does? Let me see how it works. They will automatically go on my LinkedIn and see all the webinars I've been hosting. They will see this actual workshop right here where I'm helping people build their personal brand through public speaking. The devil is in the details. This is why I say if trust is broken, you got to prove that you're really about what you say. A lot of you are saying that you do X, Y, Z, but you have not shown us nothing to prove that you really are about your business. Okay. This is how you go about it. All right. So with that said, when you have a value proposition statement, you stand out from other people because you're telling people right front and center, this is what I do, this is why I do it, and this is how I do it, up front and center. So this one sentence will change how people open doors for you in terms of conversations, introductions, partnerships, collaborations. I'm telling you, this value position statement gets me booked for speaking engagements where I get paid. All right. So if you don't have this ready available, get with the program and do just that. Okay. So with that said, once you have that position statement, because I've seen so many people build website, spend money with an agency, try to get a whole full on team, do all the most, right? Spending money to do all the things that look good. Let me tell you, if you don't got your foundational materials together in terms of you building your profile from a position of value, all the pretty fluffy details that you're doing on the online space is a waste of time. All right. It's until you do the actual work of creating that value position and statement, then you could transition into creating your positioning collateral. Okay. And what does that look like? Right. Do you even have a speaker resume? And what does a resume look like? The same way for those of you who get hired for a job, you create essentially, your resume for kind of like a book of all the work that you've done and all the things that you're doing, right? It's the same thing. You need to have a speaker resume. And a speaker resume is really a one pager, right? It's showing your professional speaker expertise. And these are things that usually are included in the one pager. And I'm, for the sake of time, in our paid speaker career accelerator program, we walk you through and help you create this one page. By the way, we sit down with you, go over your profile, and walk you through how to pick the right photo headshot, how to adjust your title and put the right tagline, how to craft your value statement. We sit down with you and workshop with you, helping you to create that value statement, helping you to create your bio, because you need to have a bio that creates a story and a narrative that really positions your value up front and center. A lot of you, your bios are very generic and boring. You think that it's a play-by-play. I was born, I went to school, and I exist. Stop that. That is boring. That's not what people want to hear. People want to know what accolades are relevant to the work that you do today, and why should people even care. That is the bio that you need as a public speaker. So for example, my bio includes all the different things I've done throughout my career, helping to build businesses in emerging markets around the world. And so a lot of times I get booked to help entrepreneurs build in global markets, because my career has spanned global markets. So that part of my bio resonates with individuals and event organizers who want to book me for that purpose, right? Speaker topics and outcomes. This is where we talked about yesterday. What topics do you want to speak on? What topics are you a thought leader on that people can engage with, right? And then obviously speaker attraction. So for those of you, and this is something I know, and you can start, put in the questions that you have, because immediately in the next 10 minutes, I am going to address Q&A a lot earlier today than I did yesterday. But I will say this. Traction is wherever you spoke at in the past, whether it was a free engagement, a paid engagement, you're going to put it there. But I will say, right, that if you don't have any traction, you want to get traction fast, start hosting webinars, right? Because you're proving the topics and thought leadership that you've created, even if the audience is a virtual audience that you created. Don't wait for opportunities, create opportunities for you to build that traction, right? And obviously any previous clients that you work with, testimonials, quotes. You guys saw my speaker reel. During the break, I'll show you my speaker reel again so you can see how it looks like, where it features different clips of me speaking at different stages around the world. And of course, your contact information and social handles so people can be able to contact you and book you for engagement. This is something that I find quite hilarious. People want to get booked to speak on stages, but they make it very difficult for people to find their emails and contact information. On my LinkedIn, my team email is right there. hello@christineandtim.com. I'm saying it right here on this call. Yesterday, I shared it on the chat. Like, make yourself accessible to others who want to engage with you, right? And this is a visual. And I will say that for some of you, don't get bogged down on the details of having crazy design work for your speaker one pager. I actually originally started my speaker one pager as a Word document. By the way, that works incredibly well in emerging markets because they're able to copy and paste the details that they need. But, Canva works great as well to do the one page or do a design layout. But as you could tell, it's very, very simple. Right? It's nothing difficult. It's not something that requires a lot of work, right? It's something very, very simple, right? So this is the Speaker One Pager. And again, during the Paid Speaker Career Accelerator, we help you build that out from scratch. And of course, on my website, I also reinforce my Speaker One Pager where things are easier to download. And again, I make it easy to showcase my traction in speaking on global stages around the world. And I want to show you another tip here. If you see on the screenshot there, clearly I have a form. Okay. I have a form for people to be able to just book and share. Okay. This is how they could be able to connect with me. This is how they're able to really work with me. But if you notice there at the top, I have my actual email, right? Or you could contact our team via hello@christineandtim.com. You want your audience to be able to reach you at by any means necessary, right? Obviously, people booking through the form is a lot more manageable because now I have a form, I have a database that I'm creating that I can follow up with. But if it comes through an email, if it comes through a DM, then you got to do it, right? And I will tell you, I actually have the biggest flow of engagements come through my LinkedIn profile. My LinkedIn DMs is where I get tremendous amount of opportunities come through. So I don't play with my LinkedIn, right? But you got to understand, we're getting deal flow from LinkedIn. Facebook DMs. I get a lot of Facebook DMs, sometimes YouTube, right? And then you have my website and then you have email. That's 5 different streams of outreach for me to speak at different events, right? But the point is I'm making myself accessible to all places because at the end of the day, my goal is to convert those conversations into opportunities. So I just want to share that with you guys, that even though you probably have a form ready for people to say, okay, this is how you want to sign up, still make it easy for them to email you or DM you. Okay. So with that said, once you have your collateral, which is a speak on one pager, then it's really important to really position your profile online. And this is probably this, we have a whole workshop specifically on social media in the paid speaker or accelerator program, because it is so important that your social media, profile is really on point. And let me tell you this, 5 years ago, I will tell you your website is probably the most important thing that you have. And it is. Now, with how social media, your community is automatically going to be on social media. They're not automatically going to be on your website. So you got to be really, really drill down on social media and make sure that your social media is optimized. And I will tell you, it's already free landing pages. Look at social media as free billboards that you have, and it really makes me sad. During this boot camp, we actually went over many of you guys' profiles. So I might do a workshop session during Q&A. Share your LinkedIn on the thread if you want me to audit your LinkedIn live and give you some feedback. Right now, I could do that, during the Q&A session. Like first, 3 to 5 people, just comment your LinkedIn profile link and I'll give you feedback. Your LinkedIn profile is literally one of your biggest assets to convert people. It's a free billboard, and the professional community that you want to book you is on LinkedIn. Right. And so I'll give you a perfect example. When you optimize your LinkedIn, the goal is to turn this free LinkedIn page into an optimized converting landing page for speaking engagement opportunities. And I already shared with you, people are already sharing their LinkedIn links on the DMs. Great job, guys. I already shared with you, I get a lot of booking opportunities through my LinkedIn profile. Right. And it's not like, people are, and I would tell you another thing about social media, by the way, just to encourage you to keep doing the work and optimizing your profiles. Okay. Just because people are not liking and commenting and sharing your content does not mean that people don't see what you're doing. I'm going to repeat that again. People may not be engaging with the work that you do online, but people do see it. I would tell you, if you go on my LinkedIn, for the amount of signups and emails that I got for this program, it does not reflect what's on social media. So keep running the reps, keep doing the work, put yourself out there. Please do not be discouraged by these people on the internet. Make it seem like you are a failure if nobody likes your post, if nobody sees her. Now, my team, we look at the data on the viewership. How many people saw the post? That matters more, because people just do not engage the same way that they used to. People are scrollers now. So people actually see it, right? So I've had people DM me, email me. We go to an event and people say, Christine, I just saw that you did a workshop. I'm like, oh, but you didn't say anything on social media. I have moved and progressed a long time ago from looking at the engagement stats and really looking at the viewing stats on the work that I put on social media now. So I just want to encourage you to keep doing the work and putting yourself out there. So I want to share with you the power of this one page on the internet. LinkedIn, ladies and gentlemen, this is your career hacking marketing funnel. This is it. The internet talks a lot about, digital marketing, but if you can't conquer this, you can't get into digital marketing. Okay. Plain and simple. This should be sacred for you. Your LinkedIn profile is very important. Like I said, through LinkedIn, I got speaking engagements, clients, media features, book deals, awards, partnerships, venture opportunities. I mean, I launched my businesses on LinkedIn. I reached new audiences on LinkedIn. I grew my followership on LinkedIn. And let me tell you, I got over 40,000 followers on LinkedIn. I don't care about that, to be honest with you. What I care about is those members actually connected with me through my DMs, through my newsletters, through my posts, give me like, hey, Christine, like there's an event happening here. Are you available? Are you in New York? Are you in, Canada? Are you in London? Like these are the things that really get opportunities. So the power of this one page on the internet, guys, I'm here to encourage you and motivate you. Leverage every social media page that you have to take your life seriously in 2025. I don't want to see anybody on this call going 2025 and beyond Having a page that's not optimized with your photo. Give me those pearly whites. Smile. I need a photo of you smiling and ready to go. Not leveraging your banner. I've seen so many people just leave their banner LinkedIn either blank or not doing anything. Announce what you're going to do. Put yourself out there. Even if people say, Christine, like, I saw that you put a 5-day challenge. Aren't you doing this? Aren't you doing this? I'm like, hell yeah, I'm doing this. And it's featured on my banner. Like, show up with gumption, right? Put yourself out there. The only thing you have to lose is a learning curve, right? You're going to grow. You're going to manifest a lot more opportunities when you put yourself out there and be taken way more seriously. So please leverage LinkedIn properly, right? And these are my 10 different things that you need to optimize on LinkedIn to be ready to go to get opportunities flowing your way purely through LinkedIn. And again, on your workbook here, on a section 2, page 9, I have this list right there. So you can screenshot this page, or you could just go on your workbook. The information is right there for you to optimize your LinkedIn page. I talk about everything you need to do to optimize your LinkedIn profile. It is literally, you have probably thousands sitting in your LinkedIn page that you're not capitalizing on, by the way, right? So going back to bringing it full circle, your value positioning statement gets you the visibility, gets you to trigger introductions and conversations to get booked for speaking engagements, okay? So hopefully you learn how to introduce yourself differently in 2025. I want you to give meaning to the value that you provide in individuals going forward, and this is a phenomenal way to do that for sure. So with that said, I'm going to transition now into a little bit of Q&A and a little bit of reviewing profiles. And I'm going to do live workshops right now where I'm going to see your LinkedIn profile and tell you how you can actually position yourself to get booked for speaking engagements live. Because I think this will be very helpful. I see a lot of profiles already listed, and so I'm going to start with that. Before I transition into that, I want to share that today, obviously, we went from knowing how to leverage public speaking opportunities to accelerate your career to today talking about positioning your personal brand to attract speaking engagement opportunities and why you need to leverage social media profiles like LinkedIn to do that. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about how to go from clarifying your positioning statement, creating your profile collateral by optimizing your social media pages, and not creating your IP product, which is your signature talk. Yes, this is what's going to get you booked, ladies and gentlemen. You are the package. You are not the product. This is something that you need to really, really understand, that you are not the product. Your content, your thought leadership is the product. And so your signature talk, whether it's a 15-minute keynote, a 30-minute workshop, is going to be the information that you're going to need to get booked, because that's what event organizers review to pay you to speak, right? When you share people the topics you speak on, they say, okay, come speak for free. But when you show people the thought leadership that you provide, then they pay you to speak. It's a completely different world when you do it in that way. So with that said, I do want to remind you all that tonight is a deadline for you to be able to capitalize on the bonus of being a part of the Paid Speaker Career Accelerator program and getting a pre-program one-on-one call with me. Like I shared before, there's no secrets to what this Paid Speaker Career Accelerator program is. To these 5 days, I'm telling you exactly what you need to do so you could go forth and be able to do it. This accelerator program will help you execute on that, and for me to coach you through that process to make sure that you are able to get the collateral, get yourself out there, find the engagements with me, helping you find the gigs, and getting yourself optimized a lot faster and leaner into 2025. So definitely book to join. Team, share the link for those who want to join to be a part of the Paid Speaker Career Accelerator before I transition into Q&A. Team, please share that link on the call for me there, right? And then now let's progress into doing some live Q&A, some live conversations, and I will leave this here for you guys to be able to get that information. So team, please share on the thread the link to be able to join the program, okay? Because that obviously will be very, very helpful for the group here on this call. So with that said, I want to give you guys the space to immediately ask any questions that you have before I go live here and do some live workshopping on the profiles that I have, because obviously, many of you guys have a lot of questions, tons of questions, and I want to be able to help you with that. All right, so Team, be able to share the information on the chat. Check your private chat with that. And then so let's see. Team William, if you could share or Obed, actually Obed, deal with sharing the information on chat. Obed, can you be able to share the top links for me? Okay, the top links for me. That I'm going to start with immediately to start doing the audits, right? And give you guys some feedback on these profiles to make sure that you guys are getting engaged for speaking engagements, right? Okay, I'm seeing them come through. Obed, can you put on the screen the first profile that we're going to work with? So as I wait for that to come up, I'm going to get my laptop ready because this is live, guys. So I'm going through this process live, and I want to be able to see that. All right, so team, first one. Who's going first? All right, so thank you. So we got Tammy Garcia. So let me see if I could get into that. Team, can you copy this LinkedIn profile into the private chat so that way I could just copy and paste? For some reason, I'm not able to just copy that off the fly. So team, can you copy Tammy Garcia's LinkedIn page, please? That will help tremendously. Thank you so much. So we got so let's stop screen and let me share with you guys where we're gonna go next. Okay, so here we are, guys. So Tammy Garcia is going first. All right, so let's see Tammy Garcia. All right. So Tammy, are you with me? Coming all the way from DC. Thank you for joining. All right, let's give her some virtual claps. She's decided to be the first one. So let's have a conversation. That are you ready to get booked with your LinkedIn profile? So let me take a look at this. So obviously, beautiful smile. You're smiling. You're engaged. So your profile photo is right there, front and center. I love that you have your website there, but just tell people what to do with that. Book me here or book to speak here, right? I will share with you that if you look at even my personal LinkedIn page, I share with people book me here, right? So people are very lazy in their thinking. I know it sounds really simple, but you got to tell them what to do or else they won't know what to do. Even though the link is right there, people don't want to just be clicking links. So you actually can embed it into your profile. So I'm going to show you something really quickly, guys. So you can see exactly when I'm coming back to our profile real quick. You see what I did here? You see that? Book me to speak, and it goes directly to the link. Is everyone following? I want to make sure comment here just to make sure that people are following this audit right now as we're doing it live. All right. So that book me to speak there is the actual link to my website page with the information for people to do that. So going back to Tammy here, let's go back. At least she has the website, which is great and which is simple. TammyGarcia.com. That's phenomenal. And that's great personal branding, right? But be able to just embed the link so people know what to do. Second, I will actually say, so she actually has speaker and her profile, but what kind of speaker are you? Are you a motivational speaker? Are you a speaker on personal branding? Are you a speaker on life coaching, right? You know, I want to make sure that you're making it easy for people to know why they're coming. Now, luckily, you put your heritage reconnection coach, which is very, very great, and innovation education advocate, which is good that you're letting people know that. Right. But it's important to like optimize. You still got a lot more real estate to go to leverage that on that. And maybe you could even add your positioning statement to that. Okay. So again, if your call to action for LinkedIn is book me to speak, tell people that you want to get booked to speak, because I could go on your website and not know how to engage with you. Okay. And so let's scroll down here. Let me see your about. The about section is another big real estate page opportunity. And I love, she's one of the few people, she has her email there. So it's easy for people to engage with her, connect with her, and be able to work with her further. So this is great that you have this. You have your skills. I will say that don't speak in a format where it's just like, it's just a basic day to day, put your speaker topics. So you have your skills and expertise, but if your goal is to get booked to speak at events, you got to tell people what topics you want to speak on, right? So be able to share that thought leadership right then and there. Have your bio section and tell people exactly what you speak on. And obviously, if I had more time, I'll go over all your different profile information and details. But I will say, for those of you who want to be serious about public speaking, put it as one of your experiences, okay? Add the experience, not so much public speaking, but speaker, and all the topics and thought leadership, because that way when people are doing SEO search on your profile on LinkedIn, they won't find you immediately just based on that. They will find you based on the SEO of the terms that you're using under your title, and also on your experience. These are the two areas on LinkedIn that has the highest SEO conversion search on the platform. So optimize that for your benefit, okay? Tammy, can I get a high five if that was helpful? Because I'm going to move on to the next person here. Okay. So Tammy, thank you so much. Who is next? Okay. So we got Annery. So let's see Annery here. Okay. Annery. So we got Annery Pradhan, I think. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. Please, can we give her some virtual claps and some virtual love on the chat, because we're about to go, and she's coming in for beautiful Berlin. And I love your profile photo as well. Look at that smile, y'all. And also it's very inviting, right? I've seen people get really serious on their profile pages. This is beautiful. Energy, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I love that she actually has a photo of her speaking. So that automatically, by the way, is giving brand authority, right? Because it's a photo of her in action, her speaking on stage. So she's serious about public speaking, y'all. That's really good. But same thing, make sure to always capitalize on that real estate. So same thing here. So you have your title, COO at New Energy Nexus, which is great. Partnerships and Operations Executive at Climate, and then a Climate Ecosystem Builder, which is great. Though you should definitely make sure that you are always involved with Climate Week activations. There's dozens of speaking engagements during Climate Week. But one thing I would say is leverage the real estate a lot more, right? Where you should put the link to your website. And if you do not have a website, do you know what link you could use, Enery? You could use Calendly. Book to schedule a call for your next event, right? So people could still book and it goes straight to your Calendly. And Calendly is free to use for people to book you for engagements, just to have a conversation with you. So for those of you who don't have a website yet, this is a secret that you can leverage to be able to have, for example, the opportunity to have a link for people to book to talk to you, to see if they can have you speak at their event. So I just want to make sure I share that with you. She got 3 times keynote speaker. So let me tell you this. I suggest you don't tell people that 3 times keynote speaker, because it kind of works against you. Because my assumption, and this is me putting my event organizer hat, my assumption right now is that you don't speak in keynote a lot, right? So just say, serial keynote speaker, keynote, or just keynote speaker. That's fine. DNI, JNB leader, which is great. But again, add your value statement. You'll see it will work wonders in terms of converting people to what you do. I help who to do what, add that as a value statement. But other than that, great profile photo, high energy, the credibility is there with the photo. Great job in doing that, okay? And then I love that I see automatically featured. This is great. You are leveraging. This is another section of LinkedIn that you could highly leverage, because these are not probably the most recent stuff, but she selected these specific engagements to highlight on her profile. So it was a pleasure to deliver a keynote speech at XYZ, and that's a wrap. It was a wonderful to participate, and this high engagement on her post, right? So as an event organizer, I see that she has the engagement of the community to work with them as a thought leader, as a speaker, and it's really, really, really good to see that. Okay. So really good on optimizing on that for sure. Same thing. She's a COO. She shared that experience with us. But same thing, I would say that, add to your profile, right, that you are also a speaker, and make that a serious part of your experience to increase your SEO. But other than that, you have a phenomenal career. I mean, the fact that you even worked at Republic, which is a great capital raising platform, right? You've been an investment fellow. You went to school at LSE. You have some great credibility markers. So there's so much opportunity for people to hear you speak. So phenomenal job on that. Thank you so much for taking the moment to share your profile for us to be able to see that. So let's see the next person. And so, Enery, hopefully that was helpful. If you have more questions, just let me know, right? Great, 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 great profile. Okay. So next person we got here is Sherry Tar. I actually know Sherry actually. So let's see Sherry Tar. There we go. All right. So let's look at her profile information here. All right. So I would say we need to change the profile photo immediately. Okay. And Terry, you come to a lot of my events in New York. You're a beautiful woman. I should see them smiles. I should see them pearly whites. Smile in your photo because this, first off, is not only not inviting, but it's also not it's not professional for LinkedIn. It will work for Facebook, but not for LinkedIn. Also, I see that you're using the banner space. Compliance is the segue to successful commercialization and sustainable brand equity. You're not leveraging the real estate, right? So whether you leverage the real estate to say like what you do, or use a photo of you in action, like what the previous individual done, it's really important that you leverage the real estate of your banner and your photo. And keep in mind, the two most iconic things that people see first, which is obvious, is your photo and your banner. So please feel free to adjust both of those. It's a simple thing. But you also, great, you have your website there. Same thing that I said to, I believe it was Tammy, right? The first person I did an audit on, is to make sure to actually tell people what to do with the website. Book me to, and I know you, Sherry, you're into photography, videography as well. So are they booking for you to speak, or are they booking you for photography? So tell people what to do with the website so they know the call to action. And you have leveraged your real estate really well. You put that you're advisor, fraction and compliance, promotion and compliance, and you put speaker. If you want speaker to be taken seriously, I would just move it a little bit higher on the totem pole because it's the last one there. And I'm assuming that you're on this program because you want to make it a more predominant part of your repertoire in terms of your career. Going and scrolling down to your about, this is not a good about section at all. You need an actual bio. You need an actual list of topics that people could book you for. And people need to be able to contact you. Where's your emails? Where's your where's people are able to be able to do that? And Sherry just did a follow-up question. Thank you, team, for sending that. Should I have a separate LinkedIn page for my speaking and my business? Yes, you can do that, but the highest conversion is always going to come on your personal LinkedIn page. So I also have a business page for my profile, my personal brand, because obviously I've incorporated, it's institutionalized. However, the highest conversions to this day that I get, and this is an industry secret, so you know, comes through your personal page. And let me tell you, social media sites will tell you to always create a business page for everything. That is really great to do that because it adds professionalism to your craft. But never lose sight of leveraging your personal pages on any medium. Okay. Thank you so much for the feedback, Sherry. I'm always excited to do it. But other than that, I know your experience. I know you're a rock star. I want you to be able to leverage your real estate more. And same message, I would say, leverage the SEO, and add public speaking to your experience so people can see that that's part of your repertoire as well. Who is next? I could take about maybe two more and then start answering some questions, team. Do you have any questions on the call? Someone is screaming, please do, Sonia, before you go. The team is sharing with me the order as they're coming in. All right. So we got Elizabeth. Is that actual LinkedIn? Team, I need help here. We got Yuli. Oh, nice. So we got Yuli Grossman. So let's look at Yuli, guys. All right. Yuli Grossman. Okay. And after this, I'll do one more. Okay. So let's take a look at that. So I think, Yuli, I think you know what I'm going to tell you. And look, you're already a handsome guy. Look at that. Look at that smile. Just zone in on the face, right? This is more the type of photo that you would use for Facebook. But you guys, can I get some love on the chat for Yuli? Like, let's just let him know what he got going on here, right? You already got the smile. Just zoom in on it, right? Because this is LinkedIn. How people leverage LinkedIn is very different than how they leverage, Facebook. So please zoom in on the face so that way they can see you. And this is a point that I was trying to make regarding the banner. You're not leveraging the real estate. right? Look at that here. Great. Right. And I can tell maybe you're not as active on LinkedIn. Maybe it's not something that you use more. Maybe you're more active maybe on Instagram or Facebook. That's an assumption that I'm making. But leverage that real estate, right? What do you speak on? So luckily, I do love the fact that you put here speaker, entrepreneur, business advisor, security consultant, business risk, logistics, right? You put all the different, you got, wow, contact combat training, which is pretty cool, which makes sense now why you have this as your profile photo, right? But people want to know the thought leadership versus the action, right? So you probably speak about combat training as well. Maybe speak about, all the different mechanisms of being able to do that work, right? So you could combine it where maybe your profile photo is focused on the image, your profile photo, and on the background cover, maybe it could be you in action, either teaching someone combat training or you speaking at an event on that topic. Either way, that real estate with that banner will be very great with giving that immediate authority to people for people to be able to take you seriously, right? And luckily, I'm loving you guys are really serious about your personal brand on this call because I'm so happy to see that you also have a personal website, yuligrossman.com. Again, tell people what they need to do with that website. Book me to speak, book to speak, yuligrossman.com, right? Make that visible. Let's keep going here. And then if I look at your about section, same thing. There's no bio. Luckily, you do have, I love that. So you got the call to action here, book me. And then you got the email, which is phenomenal, which is really, really good. But give us the topics that you could speak on. So you talk about your experience, but what topics? And when I say topics, guys, you're not saying, okay, my topic is personal branding, public speaking, entrepreneurship, career development. No, it's how to become a speaker in 90 days or less, how to build your profile and your personal brand in the digital space. A topic is an actual the title of the work that you could speak on so people can think creatively on how to place you at the next event. So that's what I mean by topics. List out, and usually you don't need more than 3 or 5 to get people wanting to engage with you to book you to speak at an event, okay? And then scrolling down here, he didn't leverage the feature section, but you can definitely have action shots in the feature section. Same thing, put it as, as part of your work here for one of your, experiences. And again, when we have more time, we actually look at the details. I even look at like, are you putting content in each one of the experiences? So when people go on the fact that you're the founder of A Taste of Home Kenya, and I look at the details, like where are the images, where's the information, where's the website for people to, connect with more on this part. So I look at your entire profile, right? So for the sake of time, this is obviously a crazy rundown audit of profiles, right? But these are the things that you guys need to do to be able to do that. So Yuli, hopefully that quick 5-minute rundown was helpful. So want to keep going here. Team, please display the comments. If the comments are here, I want to make sure that I'm seeing the questions. Oh, beautiful. I see. Yuli got a comment here. I help executives to navigate post-pandemic uncertainty in business and personal lives, manage risk, increase growth. Why? Because it gives them incarcerable power and knowledge that keeps businesses safe, families happy, and leverages emotional intelligence to grow. That is amazing, right? Amazing work, but it's too much. Right? Because if you can't introduce it in a couple of seconds in the elevator, it's going to be hard because now it becomes a pitch. So what I will do tomorrow, let me, for the first 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes of tomorrow's session, I'm going to workshop through some of the value statements. And first come, first serve, Yuli, we can start with you. Share with me your value statement because that's going to be your homework for tonight. And I'm going to workshop through and let you guys know how to convert your value statement so that way it's simpler and easier to read, okay? So that's all the time we have for today, right? Hopefully today was amazing for all of you. I know I had an amazing time engaging with all you guys today for today's content. We covered so much, guys, so much. So tomorrow, obviously, we're back here again. I want to remind you guys, if you're excited to be able to work with me, and maybe you have questions about the program. We got a lot of questions yesterday. We are taking calls from to the team. Thank you so much. I'm seeing the comments are coming in, right? I just shared on the chat ways that you guys could book with me and the team to see if this will be viable for you to work with us for the program. So it's a Calendly link, book a 15 to 20 minute, discovery call section to see if it will work for you to be able to work with us. You are able to do that immediately right now. Obviously, first come, first serve. I cannot get that off the books. But if you are ready to work with me and move forward for this accelerator program, the bonus for me to have a pre-call personal brand audit. You see how I did that LinkedIn? I do a full audit where I also go over everything I can find about you on the internet and help you craft a plan. Okay. So we'll be able to go through all of that prior to you starting the program. So if you feel like this is the right move for you, this is obviously a great opportunity for you to sign up for the program. So team, please feel free to share that on the chat as well. Okay. So with that said, just want to again invite you guys to join me for the next couple of weeks live and 2024 on a high. Get ready for 2025, ready and kicking on stages. Okay. So with that said, for the 5-day live tomorrow, we will continue. And tomorrow is all about tomorrow we're going to talk about obviously how to actually really create the IP, try to get your signature talk. And we're going to talk about for day 3, identifying the 5 secret places to find speaking engagements to get booked immediately. So not only I'm going to help you build your signature product, but I'm also going to be able to help you find where do you get the gigs? Like what databases are people using? What networks are we tapping into? Who are the event organizers and what are their contact information? I'm going to share that with you tomorrow. So tomorrow is definitely going to be a session that you're not going to want to miss. In the meantime, as a reminder, definitely join the program. The deadline tonight is 8 p.m. for you to be able to have full access to all the bonuses and the bells and whistles of this experience. I would love to be your mentor till the end of the year into 2025. So if you want to work with me in person, let's get down to business and get some things done, get you on stage. Let's do it. So over and out. Thank you so much for a phenomenal day 2. I cannot wait to see you for day 3 tomorrow. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Bye.
Christine and Tim.
Christine, Sofran, Nitin.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.